Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mr. Ellingson, will you lead us in the flag salute?
Yes, Madam President, thank you. Will everyone please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Ellingson. At this time, I'd like to see who is present. Ms. Gutierrez? Present. Mr. Ramirez? Mr. Ramirez? Is not present. Ms. Cabrera?
Present.
Ms. Magaña?
Present.
And I'm present as well. Dr. Garland, are there any modifications to this evening's agenda?
Good evening, Madam President. Yes, the agenda was amended to add item number 14. Items 6F and 6G have also been reviewed, or I'm sorry, have been amended. Copies have been provided to you and copies have been uploaded to the website for the public. And also items 9A10, 9B2, 9B3, and 9B4 have been revised and copies have been updated to the website for the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garland. Ms. Copado, are you making any recommendations to make modifications to this evening's agenda?
Good evening, President Uribe. Yes, we are. Pursuant to Government Code Sections 54954.2, subsection B, subsection 2, and 3457.5, staff is recommending amending the agenda to add item number 14. That's in regards to an informational item for the board's future consideration and approval of the memorandum of understanding between Montebello Unified School District and the Montebello Teachers Association for the school year 2021-2022. Copies of the informational item along with a copy of the proposed agreement have been provided to members of the board, as well as uploaded on the district's website for the public's review. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.2, subsection B2, this is a subsequent need item in that a conditional agreement was reached after the tonight's agenda was posted. And in order for the board to take formal action on the item, the county superintendent must first be provided with an opportunity to review it. Typically, it's 10 business days. The time is allotted for them to comment on the proposed bargaining agreement. We will need a 2/3 vote of the board members being present, or if less than 2/3 of the board's member present, we do need a unanimous vote of the members being present to make this amendment to the agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Copado. I move to approve the agenda with the modifications as indicated by Dr. Garland and Ms. Copado. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Ms. Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mr. Ramirez?
Aye.
Ms. Cabrera?
Aye.
Ms. Magaña? Ms. Magaña?
Aye.
And then
Hi,
I
can you
for me is, yes, I can hear you. Thank you. And then I for me as well, that motion is carried. Moving on to our presentation, Revenue and Expense Committee report. I would like to welcome Dr. Gallardo.
You're muted, Dr. Gallardo.
My apologies. I often mute myself. Good evening, Madam President, Madrigal Uribe, board members, Superintendent Dr. Scavarna, Executive Cabinet, and the MUSD family. My name is Dr. Angel Gallardo. I am the president of AMSA, that consists of the administrators, classified management, and confidential employees. And before I even begin, I just want to welcome all of us back to what is the 2022 school year, and we're very thrilled to do that. Today, I'm here to provide an update to the Expense and Revenue Committee that was created in February of 1995 to cooperatively examine the district's finances. And this committee consists of members of MTA, CSEA, and AMSA equally represented. And although this report is for last year, it is quite relevant as we are collaborating on the same kind of topics this year. In the 2020-21 school year, it was a very challenging year, as you know, for all of us and our students and our staffs. And the Expense and Revenue Committee generated a number of questions from the district, with the district, related to facilities, safety, and the safe return to campus. Last year, the committee received reports related to the budget, trial balances, and there is a continued belief and expectation and request that more detailed information be provided to the Expense and Revenue Committee on a regular basis as we move forward. The committee has continued to get pertinent information related to the COVID-19 additional funding of approximately $169 million, and we would like to continue the same realm of information in detail. And one of the requests is that we get this information prior to expenditures being rendered. Sometimes we know that emergencies do occur, and that's just the way that it works sometimes. But open communication is always greatly appreciated with this committee since it's been in existence for a while. As we return to the site, the committee continues to emphasize the safe return. And we know that over the last year, the district has made tremendous strides in projects related to air conditioning units throughout the district. We also know that many projects, roofing projects, have been completed, painting has been accomplished, and flooring projects have been completed. And right now, as many people as possible are getting ready to the safe return of our students and our teachers. And that comes to the conclusion of my report. And we thank you for all the collaboration the district provides us and continued support of our superintendent and the board. Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you, Dr. Gallardo. Are there any questions from the board? Okay, no questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Ewan, do we have any school service organization reports?
Good evening. We do not have any school service organization reports this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Ewan. Do we have any employee organization reports?
We do have employee organization reports, and the employee representatives are in this Zoom. So if you don't mind, I can facilitate calling them by order. So is Marisol Rivera for CSCA available?
Yes. Hello. Here we go. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Good evening, Madam President Madrigal-Uribe and members of the board, Interim Superintendent Dr. Scarvana, and Executive Cabinet, and community members, and my CSCA brothers and sisters. My name is Marisol Rivera, Chapter President for Montebello 505 Classified Employees. As we embark in the new school year 2021-2022, we still have pending positions to fill: instructional aides, bus drivers, custodials, health assistants, campus security officers, nutrition services, maintenance and operations position, various of them. Dr. Scarvana has made it known to make sure the schools get carpet removal and replaced with tile, which is great. Some rooms were painted, but not all. To say the least, the work is being done, but we need personnel to keep it up and continue the proper service to our students. As we are investing into our students, we need to make sure the teachers get support inside the classrooms. We need to invest into hiring more instructional aides and health assistants. Let me begin by saying during summer school, we had a minimum of 16 positive COVID cases. Not to say that we didn't open all the schools for in-person for summer school. Keep in mind that some of these cases vary between personnel and students. It is very important to have your administration communicate with employees when they have been exposed and not 1 week later. COVID cases have risen more as we open up schools for students. Let's make sure that we have the necessary personnel needed. We continue to hear AC units are not working properly in some of the sites. Ventilation is a big factor. We have CARES Act funding. Let's make sure we are spending wisely in getting all sites, classrooms, and departments with air purifier and HEPA filters. One of the main concerns that I bring to your attention is we need to hire more campus security officers and yard supervision aides. These two classifications play a tremendous role right now as school is to open up. Are we planning on taking the temperatures of students when they come into school? If so, which personnel is going to handle this? As I mentioned, yard supervision aides, Montebello 505 has provided you with the MOU for us to add the classification of yard supervision aide. I ask you, why haven't you accepted the MOU? Is it because you don't want the YSAs to have a step increase in their salaries? I urge you to have this conversation with your cabinet. They are essential to the job to provide support to supervise students. Communication and transparency are a big factor in order to work together. Please keep in mind that every association has a union contract, and there are certain items in there that the administration needs to follow. We have filed one grievance to the attention of the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource in violation of our contract. I will do within my means to protect the rights of my members. Board members, remember your role as a board member, you have a cabinet to fulfill their duties. Please adhere to not getting involved into personnel matters with employees. There is a due process to follow. This past week, we attended our CSCA's 95th annual conference virtually. In attendance were the following employees: Leticia Martinez, bus driver; Gudelia Navarro, executive assistant; Tiffany Kobayashi, senior office assistant; Veronica Navarro, records technician; Janet Waldes, attendance specialist; Adela Gonzalez, executive assistant; Corinne Perez, instructional aide and RSP; John Nieto, carpenter; Tony Ugaldi, campus security officer; Jeannie So, administrative assistant, and myself. Our theme this year was Essential, United, Strong. This is what all classified has been since the pandemic hit. Nevertheless, our cafeteria workers, custodials, clerical staff, and bus drivers, and M&O, and all our classified brothers and sisters have provided a tremendous amount of support to our students, parents, and staff, and continue to provide the necessary support. We have the opportunity to elect our new state president and elected officers. It's been great pleasure to announce our new association president, Matthew Shane Dishman. Our governor was part of our session during the conference, and he delivered awesome news to all classified employees. As he stated, that California school employees are really unsung heroes of our education system, doing the critical work to make our schools run every single day, Newsom said. Not only this, but also included in the recently signed California Comeback Plan is the highest level of school funding in our state history, altogether of $123.9 billion. To say the least, all students will be receiving free meals throughout the year, regardless of family income. This is great news. Board members, let's make Montebello shine for our students. I leave you with this quote from Henry Ford. Coming together is beginning. Staying together is progress, and working together is success. Enjoy your evening, and thank you.
All right, next we have Dr. Angel Gallardo, representative for AMSA. You're muted again, Dr. Gallardo.
Well, you know that I'm well trained now, that I do mute myself often. Good evening, Madam President, Madrigal Uribe, board members, Superintendent Dr. Sconarva, Executive Cabinet, and U.S. family. On behalf of all the administrators and behalf of the management and confidential employees, we want to welcome all of our family of MUS employees and students to the new academic year. I believe, as Ms. Marisol Rivera was indicating, the unsung heroes are everyone that has worked over the last year and a half trying to get all of the materials and equipment. And without all the members, it wouldn't be possible. I could tell you that principals and directors and administrators are very thankful for the collaboration of classified employees, for the dedication of both the teachers and classified. And without them, we wouldn't be able to do our jobs. And I also want to send a thank you to all the AMSA members who have stood firmly in support of our district and continues to be dedicated for the betterment of everyone. So thank you. Have a wonderful year and God bless all of us. Thank you.
All right, and finally, we have Mr. David Navarre, representative for MTA.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Madrigal Uribe, members of the board, Superintendent Scarvana, Executive Cabinet, and Community. I'm David Navarre, MTA President. I hope you're all well. I would like to take this opportunity to update the board on development. Our members today ratified our Return to Schools MOU with a 76% yes vote. With this MOU, our members will have an opportunity to prepare their classrooms, many of them with new flooring and fresh paint. They will have 2 days to work on their rooms. There is an increased instructional supply stipend that our members can use to buy needed items and for our students. And there are also safety provisions that will go a long way to keeping everyone safe, like access to an air purifier with a HEPA filter. The class size numbers outlined in this MOU will help us with social distancing and are a real opportunity for our members to meet the needs of our students in a meaningful way. It is now our responsibility to make sure we take advantage of this opportunity. I want to thank the board for their support of our Return to Schools MOU. We are also grateful for the opportunity to collaborate with the district in the process of crafting this MOU. It was not easy by any means, especially considering the time constraints, but through hard work, collaboration, and communication, we were able to meet in the middle and reach a compromise that will benefit our members, our students, our families, and the Montebello Unified School District. As you know, in this ever-changing landscape, Montebello Unified now needs to provide an independent studies program option to our students. MTA is currently working with the district to expand the existing independent studies program to meet new legislation and the needs of our families. Many of our families and members are understandably anxious about in-person instruction, especially given the Delta variant and the fact that our younger students do not have a vaccine available to them. Montebello has a robust independent studies program in existence. MTA again met with the district today to discuss the program and we invited a longtime independent studies teacher, Jennifer Gonzalez, who helped us in understanding the complexities of
Mr. Navarre, you froze. I'm not sure if it's just on my end.
Yes, he's frozen. I'm going to give him a few seconds to see. Hopefully he can reconnect. And for those of you watching, please bear with us as we have technical difficulties. Did we lose him, Dr. Yuan?
Yeah, it looks like his tile is not there anymore.
Okay, well, we can proceed and then allow him to finish once he's able to log back on.
All right, and so he was the last person from the employee organization groups.
Okay, let me give him just a few more seconds to see if he's going to log on. Mr. Navarre, can you hear me?
Hello, I'm sorry. That never happened when I was teaching 5th grade last year. It reminds me of the time when I was speaking and I started, asking the kids questions and no one would answer, and I was getting very frustrated. And then I realized I had been off for a long time. I apologize. I don't know where I left off, but I'll continue. The school year for our members start next week, and the following Monday for our students. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. There are challenges that will arise as they did during summer school. We look forward to continued collaboration and open lines of communication to meet those challenges. Thank you for your time and have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. At this time, we are going to proceed with Lakewood reports or comments. Mr. McGuire?
Hello, I'm going to be quick because I'm in the Ontario airport and they might go right over the top of me in a second. But Francie Heim and I were both in the district last week and had excellent meetings with the executive cabinet. Dawn was away on a much deserved vacation. And so we look forward to coming back to the district again and continuing just the great work that's happening in Montebello. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McGuire. Have safe travels. Moving on to our superintendent of school comments, Dr. Scavarna.
Thank you very much, Madam Board President. Couldn't agree more with the comments from CSEA, the teachers union, the management folks. We have really pushed things up in trying to get things done, and we will. We'll get better and better and better. And it's going to be a challenging year, but I think it's going to start really positively. I couldn't be happier with the attitudes and everything else, and it's very difficult, but I think it's very important, like I've said before, that we show our students, parents, and everything else that we have a plan to get this done. I'm real pleased to see on the agenda the tentative agreement. I'm real proud of the work that went into that teacher's agreement. I think it's wonderful. Also proud to see on there the hiring of the architect for putting in and redoing and making pools new. So I will, with the completion of that, I will turn it over to Dr. Garland for a few comments that she has on independent study. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Scarvana. Good evening, President Uribe and our Montebello community. There have been a lot of questions. We've spoken to a lot of parents regarding the independent studies program and what this educational option will look like for their students. We are hosting a parent meeting virtually on Monday, August 9th at 5:30 p.m. regarding the program. This flyer will be sent out via Blackboard and a text message, and we will also place the flyer along with the Zoom link on our website so parents can find that and log on. If you are having any sort of trouble at all finding the Zoom link in the flyer, please contact either Student Services or your school's principal. In addition, we will be presenting at the next board meeting the same presentation on contract independent studies. And that's all I have for the update for contract independent studies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garland. Thank you, Dr. Scavarna. Moving on to public comment. Ms. Copado, do we have any public comments to be read?
Yes, President Uribe, we have about 9 comments, and it seems to be all related to the same subject matter concerning the aquatics facility at Bell Gardens High School. First comment, good afternoon to whom this may concern. I am emailing you today addressing my concern about the possible pool renovations. I understand that budgets have not been made yet, but I want to emphasize the importance of setting aside money in the budget to renovate Bell Gardens High School pool. By renovating, this will not only highlight our school and its culture, but this is benefiting the students at Bell Gardens High School. The pool has created a place for individuals to express their passions for the sport they love. Not only is the pool important to the aquatic team, but to the community who is using the pool as a public facility. By renovating, you will be allowing more people to take interest, but you will be fueling dreams. Best regards, Natalie Bracken, ASB Parliamentarian Student Site Council Chairperson. Next comment. Hello. Oh, we really need a new pool because I get it that water polo and swimming doesn't sound as interesting as football, but we also need new things. If you guys can buy the football new things, then I'm pretty sure that you guys can afford a new pool. And we know you have money, so don't sit here and try to say that you don't have money because you do. Can you also stop wasting money on unnecessary things and actually focus on things really need attention? Also stop saying that you guys are going to fix the pool and never do it like how you've been saying for the past 10 years. Thank you for your time, Perla de Leon. Hello, Montebello District. It has come to my attention that you guys may or may not know that we need a new pool. Simply because Bill Gardens High School pool is always going under maintenance, making it so that both water polo and swim team not being able to practice. So please stop saying that you guys are going to get us a new pool if that's all you guys have been doing for the past 10 years. So please be a little smarter on how you guys use the money, because I'm sure you guys spend money on other sports, but can't even afford to get swimsuits for the Bell Garden swim and polo team. Johan. Next comment, help Bell Gardens High School with their pool. Hi, I'm a student at Bell Gardens High School and I'm a player at their water polo team. The pool hasn't been working and isn't in the best conditions. Me and many other parents and students were hoping that you could fix our pool. I'm a freshman and I really want to continue the sport, but I can't with the pool's condition. Please help us fix our pool. Allison Plates. Next comment, to whom it may concern. I am a parent of 2 water polo students and an athletic assistant at UCLA. We encourage our pupils to stay in sports to further succeed with life skills. Currently, you are failing to maintain and have the swimming pools working according to MUSD standards. The pool is filthy. The tiles have become a safety concern. When the children are walking barefoot, they face potential cuts with the sharp tiles that are loose. The pool equipment, pumps, and circulating pumps for the filters are failing. The filters are not sufficient for the pools. They need to be addressed. I hope you all understand the urgency of this email. Please let us know what are your plans of action. You are in a position of power and leadership. Do not forget the oath you took before you took this job. Be an example to the future. If your office is incompetent and unable to take care of these issues, let us know. We have other means. Diego Vallejo. Importancia de la alberca. Hola, soy una de las mamás en la comunidad. Mi hijo está en la escuela de Bell Gardens High School y estoy bien orgullosa porque 2 hijos también estaban en la misma escuela y tengo otra hija chiquita que planea ir a Bell Gardens High School. Me da gusto que los maestros y coaches que están enfocados en educando a los estudiantes y enseñándoles la importancia de la disciplina y salud y deporte. El maestro Cifuentes les habla a los estudiantes sobre la importancia de educación y hace hechos, por eso los apoyamos y estamos con él. Queremos una alberca nueva para nuestros hijos. Mi número de teléfono es 323-593-0030, Alicia Virueta. Next comment, por favor, ayúdanos. Hola, Distrito Escolar. Gracias por su tiempo. Les estoy escribiendo para pedirles que ayuden a la escuela a agarrar una nueva alberca. Tengo 2 hijas en la Bell Gardens High School que participan en el programa de polo acuático y natación. El maestro Cifuentes nos ha ayudado mucho con el programa de deportes y enfocar a los estudiantes en la escuela. Mi hija mayor recibió mucha ayuda del maestro Cifuentes en agarrar trabajo este verano de salvavidas y de instructora de nadar para enseñarle a los estudiantes sobre la importancia de estar seguros en el agua. Mis hijas muy seguido me informan que la alberca no sirve porque la agua no se limpia y que la agua está muy fría. El maestro Cifuentes nos ha dado mucha motivación a seguir adelante. Mi número de teléfono es 323-674-6893. Gracias, Celia Rosales. Next comment, aquatics facility, Bell Gardens High School pool. I am an athlete from Bell Gardens High School and I wanted to know if you can fix our pool because it has broken down a few times and has interfered with our practices and had to go to another school to practice, and it is not fair for us to interrupt their practices when our pool is not working properly, and how selfish the district is for not giving us the money to fix the pool. Alexander Ippolito. Next comment, Bell Gardens High School pool, to whom it may concern. Hi, this is Yaretsi Lorenzo from Bell Gardens High School. The whole water polo swim program have been told multiple times that we will get a new pool over the course of the years and nothing has been done. Our pool breaks down at least 3 times a month, and other school pools from our district are perfectly fine, and we have to practice at other schools, and we see a huge difference from the care of that school and our school. Additionally, when we compete, they look like united as a team. We do not. They have all matching gear that is provided by the district. It frustrates me that they get the funds for their pool, but when it comes to Bow Gardens High School, they say there is no funds. We depend on the pool, and it's not fair that football gets the funds they need, their gear and everything, and swim and water polo don't get what they need. They don't get a simple cap or goggles or swimsuit. I don't find it fair that they get all of that and get all the attention and do not pay attention to water polo. We need the pool and depend on it. We have enough funds, but you guys do not want to budget with it to fix our pool. But when it comes to more higher up sports, such as football, soccer, volleyball, there is so much money for them to use. Yaretsi Lorenzo, Bow Gardens High School, contact information 562-360-8973. Next comment. Good afternoon. To whom it may concern, I'm emailing regarding the aquatics renovations that were promised that have made no progression. Bow Gardens High School aquatics program was told that our pool would be renovated during June. It is now August and no such renovations have happened. I find it disheartening that the district is misusing available funds and undervaluing the aquatic facilities and programs that have not only allowed access to the students, but members of the community. The pool's deterioration has called us to relocate to other aquatic facilities on multiple occasions. By having to relocate, I have seen that other pools in our district, and it is clear that there's one pool that has been recently refurbished. Why does this pool get priority before Bow Gardens High School? Seeing how there's preference for the other aquatic facilities brings down our team morale, yet we still strive to do our best. I can only imagine how a renovated facility would bring up our morale and performance. I hope this email has opened your eyes the importance of renovating the Bow Gardens Aquatics facility. Sincerely, Noah Garcia, a student athlete of Bow Gardens High School. Next comment, to whom it may concern, our pool has so much problems and it's causing us to get less practice. The pool is getting really dirty because of how old the pool is and the filter stops working. The pool is always dirty and green, really disgusting. We need a new pool as it better for us and to help our team get better. Sincerely, Nathan Madrigal. Next comment, to all accountable parties and to whom else it may concern. I am sending this email today to express the importance of the Aquatic Center in Bow Gardens High School. The Aquatic Center means community building, job possibilities, and team sports for the youth in our school and community as a whole. We were promised renovations to begin June of 2021, coming into August 2021, and they have not yet started. I have been part of school site council, PTA, boosters, etc., and have attended DO meetings for over 8 years. I have seen firsthand how budgeting is allocated and voting for. I understand that there are steps that need to be taken to see this progression, which is why I'm writing to you today. The promise of a renovation was set, and I would like to know why it has not been started. For the past year, our aquatic team have had to relocate practices due to the faulty and deteriorating conditions, allowing us to see the conditions and renovations of the aquatic facilities at Shore High School has filled our youth programs with high hopes for our own beautiful new space. I know that a new facility has been promised in previous years dating back to 2008 or before. We are eagerly waiting for renovations that we were promised, especially knowing that the district received $170 million and is expecting to receive more. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Maria Santoyo. Next comment, I've been in water polo for my freshman year and I'm in it for my senior year. We definitely need a new pool because a lot of the times our pool doesn't work. I can number the amount of times the pool stopped working and we weren't able to practice. When the pool stops working, my teammates and I go to another school and we see the difference between our pool and the other school's pool. It honestly sucks being seen that my teammates and I can't practice. Many people have spoken up about needing a new pool, but the school hasn't done anything about it. I genuinely love being in water polo, and in my case, it helps me with my mental health. My teammates enjoy being in water polo, and it definitely is a bummer when our pool isn't working. In conclusion, we really need a new pool, and I hope to whoever this email goes to, you consider it since we've been trying to ask for a new pool these past years. It's Gonzalez. Next comment, our Bill Gardens High School water polo needs a new pool. We are as valid as any other school. Instead of spending it on unnecessary things, put that extra money towards actually important things. Sarah Vallejo. Next comment, please support us with a safe and appropriate swimming pool. Hello, Board of Education. My name is Isai Pastrana. Today, I will be talking about our pool conditions at Bill Gardens High School. Our pool breaks down regularly. I do not think it is fair that funds are spent without much stakeholder input. Isaiah Pastrana. That concludes the written public comments. Dr. Ewan, do we have any public comments that are coming in telephonically?
Yes, we have 6, so I'll go down the list. Give me a second. All right, our first caller is Debbie Ferguson. Go ahead, you have 3 minutes.
Hi, thank you. I miss you guys. Good evening, Superintendent Gavarna, President Uribe, the board, executive cabinet, and the Montebello community. I want to be back in the boardroom. I wanted to have a couple of concerns because you guys know that I will advocate for special ed until my dying breath. A couple of things. Number one, in terms of extended school year, we have always had a procedure that we did, and this year was different, and it was done at the 11th hour, and it left many students out of the extended school year. Previously, if for whatever reason the students didn't get registered correctly, they came the first day, and because their IEP says it's not called summer school, it's called extended school year, and their legal document called their IEP includes that in there. So when we turned students away this year saying we're full, I had a bit of an issue with that. And I did not think that was fair to parents and students. Moving forward from that, the ALL program, which is the kind of learning loss recovery program. In speaking about that, and I understand that there's a target group of students that that program is geared toward, and that's perfectly okay. However, my concern again, as special ed kids, how are we going to address their learning loss? When we say they already have interventions in place, they don't have any additional interventions to cover their learning loss, which, as you can imagine, it was learning loss for everybody. For students that have a learning difference, it was probably tenfold. So we definitely need some things in place to support their learning loss. If we're going to have personal integrity, we have to be good to our work, be true to our work. And if we're going to move forward, that includes the students. It also includes staff. Those of us who taught in person were to be taught our per diem rate. We were not paid our per diem rate, and couldn't figure out why. I made several phone calls, emails, etc., and the answer was always, we're working on it, which is not an acceptable answer. Now I still have not been paid correctly. Other teachers that were taught distance learning were overpaid and paid the per diem rate. So we need to get that together. Payroll for additional assignments has been an issue for several years, way before pre-COVID. When you get paid, it's months later, you don't know what it's for, so on. That has to be fixed. It's not okay. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
All right, next we have Pablo Cifuentes, who's going to call about the pool development. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Oh, hey, how you guys doing? It's Pablo Cifuentes, coach at Bell Gardens High School. I just want to thank you guys for, again, hearing us, considering us, the new pools at Montebello and Bell Gardens High School. I know the kids are going to be super happy when they get those pools. And let's see, so I'm actually calling you from my hotel in Cancun on vacation, but I tell the kids how committed I am. We just got off the bus from our little excursion. We're jumping in Yucatan, the Zona. But anyway, let's go back over here. Let's see. So the pool, the kids, they're really excited. They're really looking forward that it falls through. The thing is, a lot of we're promised a lot of things, but they don't fall through. For example, the fact that we've been having to have this swimming pool the last, for like about 15 years now. But, we're being told that there's going to be plans. And again, I appreciate all the hard work and consideration and budgeting and all the headaches that you guys are going through. Because again, I'm here for the community, for the kids and everything. And sometimes I get a lot too involved and I'm here calling on vacation. And sometimes I'm kind of choose, okay, like marriage or coaching. I'm just kidding, but just a figure of speech, because we do have a lot of dedicated coaches out there that, unfortunately, they do have to kind of, well, I won't get into that. But anyway, yes, thank you for hearing us. So I'm sorry that I'm a little like disconcentrated right now. I'm on the road. I don't really have I have my little notes on my napkin, but it kind of got lost in the wind right now. Yes, our parents, they're very, very passionate of having their kids off the streets and in our campuses being supervised, by a credentialed, educator looking out, because, my water polo and swim program, our numbers have gone up. I thought this pandemic was gonna, shut us down number-wise, but no, we actually grew. And we didn't just grow. We became a community. There's no boys team here, girls team there. There's none of that. Sorry if I'm kind of like getting a little emotional here, but that's what we do for the kids. And the fact that I'm really happy that you guys considered, throw this on the agenda to get these kids to the pool. Draft the plans, right? It's a good step. And the kids, they're very involved. They're very invested, and the parents too, because some of the big brothers and sisters, I competed with them in the same team, in the same program. And, they're invested too. And they take it very personal that their, siblings are going through the same things that we went through.
All right, thank you.
This week because it's shut
Thank
down.
you. 3 minutes are up.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, next we have Christina Hernandez, and she'd like to make a comment about returning to school.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Christina Hernandez, and I have 2 children that attend your school district. I have a huge concern with them returning to school on August 16th. With the current Delta cases increasing on a daily, I feel that we're putting all of our MUSC community at risk. with people not being vaccinated because of age limitation or other reasons that gives it a greater chance of spreading the virus. This can be avoided by continuing with online studies until December. The district sent out a survey with a short deadline, but did not properly provide full details of what or how it would fully affect their students' academic curriculum. As a parent, it is hard to decide. Do I put my kids' health at risk so they can have the proper courses available to them to make them succeed in life? Or have them take independent studies, which is very limited on course options? Both of my kids are in bad courses, which is my understanding will not be available under independent studies. And based on your verbiage from chapter 44 in the AB 130, synchronic instruction means classroom style instruction or designated small group or on one-on-one instruction delivered in person or in the form of internet or telephonic communication and involving live two-way communication between the teacher and pupil. Synchronous instructions shall be provided by the teacher of record for that pupil. So my assumption, due to the unclarity of information provided, by me selecting in person, they would have the option of internet or online study, which is doable for teachers to have students in class and live stream to students for an online option. If you need assistance, I can volunteer my time to get this set up for the district. I understand this is a difficult time and we are all going through, but I ask you to please don't forget the MUSD mission, empowering our students to achieve academic excellence as model citizens. I ask you to please revisit the options to help our community safe and continue the online study option. Thank you for your time.
Next, we have Tiffany Sanchez, and she'd like to comment on independent studies, particularly for dual immersion.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, good evening, board. My name is Tiffany Sanchez. I have 2 children in the Montebello Unified School District. I have an LMI 6th grader and I have an LME 2nd grader. Both children are under the age to receive the vaccine, but when it is available, I will have both children vaccinated. I do have the privilege to be able to keep my children home until they're fully vaccinated. And I make this comment knowing that it's a difficult decision. And I don't envy your position, board, to try to get everything handled with so much changing information before the school year started, right? But my concern is the independent contract studies, and in particular, independent contract studies for dual immersion programs. I had the pleasure of speaking with principal at LMI yesterday for the orientation for 6th graders. And when I asked questions about the dual immersion program for independent contract study students, there was no information available, not even an example of what the classrooms would look like. I was able to get some information about them saying that the students might not even have teachers that go to their school. And in particular, or the most poignant one was that the school district did not have a independent contract study option for dual immersion. They had Common Core, but they did not have anything for dual immersion programs. And coming from LME just voted to make LME a dual language academy. Now, I don't know what independent contract studies were. The Google form that we filled out did not give examples of what that could look like or does look like. It was very vague, and the options were either full-time or kind of go on your own. And so as a parent, that's not acceptable for me. I appreciate the distance learning that was last year. There was care-filled education for our children. And this independent contract studies does not feel like that. It feels like somebody's going to take attendance. They're going to send my kids on their merry old way with some sort of app or YouTube video to watch or packet to fill out, and that's it. So for me, those are unacceptable education options, and I feel so strongly about the dual immersion program being so important for my children that I'm willing to pull them out of Montebello Unified School District if there is not a dual immersion program available for them to safely learn at home. Yeah, and so my questions are, what is it gonna look like?
All right, thank you. Next, we have Matilda Lopez calling about COVID-19 testing for students and staff. Okay. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Hello, I'm the parent of a recent high school graduate from Montebello Unified School District, and I have one more in middle school. I'm concerned because during the pandemic, well, when they were doing distance learning, it was so tough, especially on my high school senior. His mental health was really bad. I had to get help for him through the school services. And now that there's an option for in-person learning, I decided for my child's well-being, health, mental health, to send them to in-person learning, the last one, middle school. And I'm concerned because I noticed there's not a push for COVID testing for students and staff, especially when there's a variant, a very more potential risk, especially for students under 12. There's no vaccine. And school's starting in 2 weeks. What's the district doing to start testing? Because that's going to trace and prevent spread of COVID-19. So as a parent for students and staff and everybody, please get that running. And that's so crucial for everybody to be safe and to stop the spread. Because just doing the wellness online, my youngest went to a summer school. We just answered the question and make sure he could complete all the sections and he qualified. Anyone could just put yes. There's nothing, no illness, no cough or nothing, and still be safe and not indicate that and go to school, and that's how it will start. So please take into consideration the safety of everybody, staff and students, by starting the COVID testing weekly or bi-weekly. Just like LA Unified School District is doing that for a long time now. They're keeping their students and staff safe by conducting weekly COVID testing. Thank you.
And our last caller is John Nieto, and he'd like to comment on custodial staff. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Good evening, Board President Uribe, board members, Interim Superintendent Dr. Scarana, Executive Cabinet, and the community and both units of CSE and MTA. My name is John Nieto. I'm a 39-year employee of the district, and I'm calling on behalf of the custodial staff. Over in maintenance operations, we are so short-handed that they're moving custodians over to grounds. So we have a contractor right now installing the sanitation units at all the schools. So because we're so short-handed, who's gonna maintain those units when at the end of the day, when they get used up, they gotta replace the sanitation bags. With us being short-handed, you're gonna put a lot of stress on our custodial staff. I don't know what it is with us. I heard that we had recently sent out flyers, and we have 50 people that were interested, and only 2 people came back with interest. So that doesn't look good for us. I know that the surrounding school districts have a higher rate of pay, starting pay, from $2 to $3 more, and so they're going that way. I think we need to do something to raise the pay rate, the starting pay rate for the custodians, to draw them into our district. We are here for our students, and when we don't have the proper staff to maintain the PPEs and everything that's going on with the schools, we're putting not only the staff, the teacher staff, our CSA staff, and the students at risk. So I think you should meet with your executive cabinet and look at how we can improve and make Montebello shine again. Show the parents that we do care about their kids. Thank you.
And that concludes our public comments.
Thank you, Dr. Ewan. Thank you, Ms. Copado. At this time, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Are there any items to be pulled for further discussion and or action? Okay, hearing none, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, Ms. Gutierrez,
Aye.
Mr. Ramirez,
Aye.
Ms. Cabrera,
Aye.
Ms. Magaña.
Aye.
And an aye from me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, I'd like to call on Dr. Ewan.
Yes, this is the first reading on the approval of revision of Administrative Regulation 6174, Education for English Learners. This item will be brought back at the next meeting for formal adoption by the Board of Education.
Thank you, Dr. Ewan. I move to approve the first reading of Administration Regulation 6174. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, Ms. Gutierrez,
Aye.
Mr. Ramirez,
Aye.
Ms. Cabrera,
Aye.
Ms. Magaña.
Aye.
And an aye from me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, I'd like to call on Dr. Garland.
Thank you. Good evening, President Uribe, members of the board, Dr. Scarvana, fellow cabinet members, and the Montebello community. Tonight, I present the first reading of the proposed revisions of Board Policy and Administrative Regulation 6158, Independent Studies. This policy update reflects the new law, AB 130, which requires all districts for the 2021-2022 school year to offer independent study to meet the educational needs of students. This item will be brought back at the next meeting for formal adoption by the Board of Education.
Thank you, Dr. Garland. I move to approve the first reading of Board Policy and Administrative Regulation 6158. May I have a second?
Second.
Not sure if the second was with Ms. Cabrera or Mr. Ramirez.
Ms. Cabrera. Ms. Cabrera.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Cabrera. Roll call vote, Ms. Gutierrez,
Aye.
Mr. Ramirez,
Aye.
Ms. Cabrera,
Aye.
Ms. Magaña.
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, we will discuss item 14, and I would like to call on Ms. Hakopian.
Hello, Madam President Uribe, board members, participants, and community members. Item 14 is an informational item at this time. We are presenting for the board's information pursuant to Government Code Sections 54954.2B2 and 3547.5. We are recommending that the MOU be presented to you as an informational item between Montebello Teachers Association and Montebello Unified School District. I believe I miscoded the ed code. Please excuse the quote of the ed code. And so we are presenting this as an informational item. We are very pleased that we're able to collaborate and bring this MOU to your review. Ed code, AB 1200 does require a 10-day time frame to submit to LACO any MOU between labor unions. And so we are adhering to that process, and we will submit to LACO's approval after this information has been submitted, and after we get approval from them, we will bring it to your approval one more time. So a few times of submissions and approvals are needed in order to adhere to the AB 1200 process. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hakopian. At this time, I will proceed to Board of Education member report, and I will begin with Ms. Magaña.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone, for joining us today and for your comments, and to remind everyone, this board is new and our focus is very student focused. We really are trying our best. We really do want a pool for Bell Gardens, and it is on our agenda. So we do genuinely care. We're working towards progress. I want to say thank you to all of the presidents of our different organizations, Ms. Rivera, Dr. Gallardo, Mr. David Navar. Just thank you so much for caring for your employees, for caring for our students and our facilities. We're listening to you guys. Just thank you all for your time and for your comments. Mr. John Nieto, just thank you so much for your hard work and your dedication of 39 years to our district. I also had the opportunity to attend both the beautifications that we had at Rosewood Park School and at Bell Gardens High School, and I want to sincerely thank all the volunteers that
I can't hear Board Member Magaña. I don't know if it's just me.
Me neither. Remember Magaña?
for collaborating with us and for bringing this into our neighborhoods and to our communities. Just thank you so much. We very much appreciate it. Mr. Miranda, I know that you sacrificed your vacation to be there, so just thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your hard work. And Ms. Garcia, I know that this Rosewood Park School was brought in kind of the last minute, and you handled everything really well. So thank you so much for that. And I also want to thank the Family Healthcare Centers of LA. They were there at Rosewood Park School. They were checking blood pressure. They were actually giving out COVID-19 vaccinations for free. And I know that they will be coming into our district soon. So thank you so much for that. And just have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Ms. Cabrera?
Buenas noches, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Just want to start by echoing a bit of what my colleague already shared, but just want to thank all staff, classified, certified, just everyone that's putting in a lot of thought, a lot of work, a lot of heart into just getting ready for our students. And I think, if I think back a few months, I was hoping that it would be closer to what normalcy is like in our schools, and unfortunately it's not that way, right? But I'm confident that we have a strong team in terms of staff, parents, and just everyone really trying to do what's best for the students, making sure that they're safe and that they're not losing any instructional time. So just wanted to share many thanks. Muchas gracias a todos for all that hard work. I also want to share how excited I am for the pools, especially the Bell Gardens pool. Just, we heard how many people wrote in, how many students wrote in. And I was excited to hear the student voice in those public comments too. So just super exciting that we get to provide both of these schools with new pools that we know are very much needed. And Dawn, I wanted to ask if we can figure out a way, and this might have already happened, but sharing next steps with the admin at both of these schools, maybe like some sort of estimate a timeline or something, because I wouldn't want I kind of want parents, students, everyone to just be informed and like, what does this process kind of look like? How long is it going to take? We know it's not going to probably be a month or two. So I kind of want them to know so that their expectations are aligned to, what that timeline can potentially look like, knowing that things happen and that they might change. But I would love for them to have an idea. Other than that, I wish everyone a good night and we'll see each other again soon.
Ms. Gutierrez.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I just want to apologize to the community who I did mention that we were going to have a presentation on contract independence studies today. So just as a reminder that Dr. Garland mentioned, we are going to have a meeting on Monday, August 9th at 5:30 via Zoom. And that message will go out in Blackboard, just echoing Dr. Garland's words. And then also, I just want to echo what my colleagues have mentioned, the beautification. I attended at Bell Gardens High School. I saw so many volunteers there beautifying the campus on a hot summer day. So thank you so much for everyone who was there, who made that happen. To Mr. Miranda, Ms. Garcia, thank you so much for opening your doors and letting volunteers coming in to beautify the campuses. So thank you so much for that. Also, I want to say in-person instruction starts August 16th, and that is so exciting. I know we went through a whole pandemic and we still are in a pandemic. So please, if you are sending your students into in-person instruction, please, please, please follow our protocols, wear face masks, and just follow all the protocols, please, so that way we can have all our students be safe and healthy. So that's coming up August 16th. And that is all for my board member reports. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Mr. Ramirez.
Good evening, everybody. Today I had my second day of in-person learning in 16 months. And my feet hurt. As a teacher, we walk around, working with students, making them feel comfortable. As the 16 gets closer and closer, our teachers are going to enter the classroom. We're going to have hiccups here and there. It's going to be a time for a lot of problem solving and troubleshooting as students start to trickle in and get used to the systems that are in place. And I really look forward to seeing them in campus and, having that space for them to learn. And our main priority is safety, and I'm really looking forward for this time. As we move forward, again, please get them prepared. Remind them every day to wear a mask. Remind them every day to wear a mask properly. That's one of the issues we're having right now at our school because they're not wearing them properly. We have to remind them. But please, if you have any questions, reach out to your school, reach out to the district. We're more than happy to help you. And as it gets hotter and hotter every day, please drink lots of water, wear some sunscreen, be careful, stay in the shade, and have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. So I have quite a few notes I wanted to share. First of all, we had our leadership colloquium this week with all of our administrators, and it was so wonderful to see everyone together in person after over a year and a half of not seeing all of our team, all of our leaders. So to those of you who were there, it was such a blessing, and it was an honor to be able to fellowship, be able to talk, be able to collaborate. It was just beautiful. So thank you to our executive cabinet that was present, for your continued support for all of our leaders. Thank you for all the work that you are doing. There's so much at stake as we think of school reopenings. There's just so much that's going on, but just rest assured that we are doing everything possible, just advocating. I know a lot of regulations and protocols have been very relaxed by the state of California, by Lakewood, unfortunately, but nevertheless, as a district, we are doing everything within our power to just put extra safeguards, because we know that health is truly a priority as we think of school reopenings. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of mixed emotions as we think of students and staff reporting back. So just rest assured that we are very mindful of that. Regarding dual immersion students, as a mother and as an aunt to dual immersion students in our district, just we're having those conversations as far as supporting them, making sure that if they will not return to campus, they will have the curriculum that's relevant to what they were learning, if they were on campus. So, just find peace in that, truly advocating for DIA. We're not forgetting about any of our students who will not be returning on campus. And lastly, I just want to thank everyone for, everything that you're doing. I've been speaking to administrators. There's a lot going on, and I can only imagine what our students have endured. A lot of trauma, a lot of challenges, a lot of chaos. So I just felt like the Lord wanted me to share Isaiah 41:10 with you, which says, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand." So for those of you who are believers, lean on the Lord, hold on to him for peace, strength, clarity, wisdom, encouragement, whatever it is that you need. God is always faithful. So with that, I conclude my board member report. God bless you all and have a very blessed evening. I move to recess into closed session. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Ms. Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mr. Ramirez?
Aye.
Ms. Cabrera?
Aye.
Ms. Magaña? Ms. Magaña?
Aye. Can you hear me?
And then, yes.
Oh, so
And an
sorry.
aye from me as well. We will now recess into closed session. Thank you, everyone. Okay, it is now 8:37. I would like to reconvene the meeting. Legal counsel, can you please provide the closed session report out?
Yes, thank you, President Uribe. We convened into closed session at 7:17 PM. Present via video conference were board members Gutierrez, Ramirez, Cabrera, Magaña, and Uribe. Also, Council Copado, as well as Dr. Scavarna, Dr. Ewan, Dr. Garland, Mr. Ellingson, Ms. Hakopian, as well as Mr. Eric Salbert, legal counsel. As to item A1, as listed in the closed session agenda, members of the board were provided with an update and an expansive briefing. Direction was provided to legal counsel. No reportable final action was taken. Nothing further to report. We did go out of order and then discussed item B. As presented in the closed session agenda. Again, members of the board were provided with an update and with a briefing. Direction was provided to legal counsel. No reportable final action was taken. Nothing further to report on this matter. As to item AB, Dr. Garland and myself provided a briefing and an update on this matter to members of the board. By final action with a 5-0 vote, a motion was carried to approve the settlement agreement as presented in the, as listed in the closed session agenda. Mr. Eric Salbert exited closed session discussions at 8:28 PM. Closed session discussions concluded at 8:34 PM. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Copado. It is now 8:39, and I would like to move to adjourn tonight's meeting. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, Ms. Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mr. Ramirez?
Aye.
Ms. Cabrera?
Aye.
Ms. Magaña?
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. This meeting is now adjourned. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Everyone.